TRS Clips, that one channel where you get to explore the unexplored realms of knowledge. I don't know why I'm telling you this story, Eric, but I'm sure you've heard of the Mahabharata.
Sure.
And knowing you, I'm sure you kind of know the story about the...
Assume I know nothing, which is fairly close to the truth.
Okay. So the Mahabharata and the Ramayana are the two stories that define a lot of Indian culture. They're like Ilias and Odyssey,
Yeah.
but like way more important to our fabric of our society. Very different tonalities in both the stories. The Ramayana is more about being the ideal human, and the Mahabharata is about how to navigate through an imperfect world that contains darkness. And very, very layered stories. Ramayan's still a little more direct. There's a hero and then there's a villain. And in both the stories, the central character, so the hero of the Ramayana and the mentor in the Mahabharata, are avatars of God, like avatars of the divine.
Sure.
So Lord Ram and Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna in the Mahabharata, right before the Mahabharata begins, he explains philosophy and psychology to the main hero, who's Arjun. And that chapter is what we call the Bhagavad Gita. So when the Bhagavad Gita is spoken about on global forums, they actually talk about one chapter from this larger story. Now, in the story, way before the Bhagavad Gita, when the princes are children, in like one of the earliest parts of the story, there is a whole chapter on how the princes were trained in martial arts, how to use weapons and how to fight, etc. And the prince who eventually goes on to become the main warrior in the Mahabharata and the hero, Arjun, is getting trained as a kid in this chapter. He's getting trained by the best teacher in the region called Dronacharya. And every kid who knows about Dronacharya wants to get trained by him. There is a kid from a forest tribe who hears about Dronacharya, wants to get trained by him, but is not accepted by Dronacharya to be trained because Dronacharya is more concerned with training the princes. So then this kid from the tribe starts training himself, but creates like a statue of Dronacharya and pretends that, hey, my coach is right here with me. And eventually he becomes better than Arjun when they're kids. So Dronacharya finds out that there's this tribal kid who's way better than my own student, goes and investigates, sees the statue, realizes what's happening, and then tells that kid that, hey, you're really good, but as a thank you, it's called Guru Dakshina, like a thank you gift you give to your teacher. He's like, as a thank you gift, I would like your right thumb, so that he's not able to shoot arrows through his bow anymore. And then he doesn't remain the best archer, and his own student, which is Arjun, becomes the good archer. So Eklavya is a modern day metaphor for saying that you don't need a coach to be around, but you can treat someone like a coach if you have the will. Eklavya was the tribal kid's name, and he became a really good student just by pretending that he has a coach around. So Joe Rogan is like the Dronacharya statue for me.
I see.
Yeah. Like, so I always wanted
But
to...
you can still count to 10 on your
Yeah,
fingers
of
and
course
thumbs.
Of course I can.
All
It's
right,
not
so-
like...
All
Like,
right.
I've learned so much off of Joe Rogan. I don't know if this will make it to the final cut of the episode.
Should we trade secrets that we know about Joe Rogan's style?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Who should go first?
You've been on the show, so...
Okay. I'll tell you something that I find fascinating that people just don't know about Joe. Joe is so good that he will put together a brilliant point and make you think that you thought of it if the conversation slows down, and serve it to you when he could hit the ball himself. Which is astounding, because most of us, if we think of something really clever, we want credit for it. And so bizarrely, Joe has figured out a kind of egolessness where he definitely has an ego, and you can get on the wrong side of his ego. But he's so good that he causes his guest to be fantastic by not needing to be the guy at all times. Like, he is the guy by not needing to be the guy at all times.
Mm.
And that's one of the things that I've learned from being on the show a bunch, is that he's making everyone else look better than they actually are by in part doing their work when they're not able to do the work themselves, including some episodes where I sort of, sometimes he makes a decision that I don't love and I'll disagree with. I'm not saying that he's got perfect taste, but that's something I've never seen anyone else do. Your turn.
What I really learned from him was the ability to think of and ask extremely cinematic questions that lead to those good moments.
Cinematic, say more.
I mean, all of us have a lot of movies in our subconscious mind just because of life. So there are, like, when you're talking about quantum mechanics, I'm thinking about time travel and Interstellar.
Oh, Interstellar, okay.
And there's a way to merge those two worlds. Take your subject and then to make it palatable for what we call the masala audience here, the commercial audience. It happens through cinematic questioning. So I learned that from Joe Rogan, how to make conversations entertaining through questions.
So do you draw on, because you're drawing on different cinema, you get Hollywood films here, but you also potentially get, like the Calcutta film industry, which is art film, and you also get Bollywood. Are you drawing on, like you were just drawing on the Mahabharata and the Ramayana? Are you drawing on a different mimetic complex than the rest of us have access to?
In India?
Yeah,
of course. Like if you're genuinely into Indian scripture, there's an infinite number of stories and philosophies that affect your emotional brain. You see certain life situations in a different way, and then I feel that lends itself to whatever art you're creating.
No, but like, for example, if you referenced the trope of, let's take Sholay because everybody will see it. If you reference the trope of like Gabbar Singh is the baddie, or the coin that he's secretly been using to manipulate so that he takes on the danger as the true hero, and it's only revealed at the end. Are those things that you would use in an Indian context, and only the world that consumes Bollywood would know them?
It depends on the audience I'm trying to reach out to. Like, I won't do that in this conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I'm talking to like a Bollywood star, you gotta...
But we can talk to them, because this is a frustration for me, which is that I can't reference, like, it happened around the time I was getting married that DDLJ came out. So this film, which is about 30 years old, has incredible songs, an incredible story. It's shot just absolutely beautifully, and I can't reference it in my American life. Right? And sometimes I'll pluck out a few notes on the mandolin, which is an instrument I'm devoted to, and the mandolin features in this film.
Yeah.
And somebody will suddenly, I'll see their ears prick up, and I'll say, oh, okay, well, I know that person knows what it is that I'm referencing. And it's frustrating in the same way that if it is only the Bhagavad Gita that has any currency at all.
I think it'll change.
Yeah.
Like they're actively trying to take out scriptural material to the rest of the world. And some fantastic work is coming out of India now.
Yeah.
Like, I've waited my whole life for this level of work to come out. So the Ramayana, the other story, is being created with a global standard maintained. Very good like graphics, very good casting, good writing. And they're hoping that that's India's global export. So it begins there.
Love it.
Yeah. And
okay. So cinematic is this thing that you've drawn out from Joe Rogan, which you think you think he makes these cinematic references?
I think he's very good at keeping the entertainment levels up in conversations.
Okay.
Like, he does it very subtly, either by like spiking his own emotions or the guest's own emotions.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't understand that. That's super interesting.
Like, we as modern day content creators, if you constantly think of audience retention, how do you keep them interested constantly? So that happens through either spiking up emotions or spiking up great moments.
I
Like,
say, and you gesticulate a fair amount.
yeah, I mean, that's an old habit. That's a very Indian habit,
Yeah,
sir.
exactly.
It's a Punjabi habit.
That's right. I feel like doing some bunga right now. Okay, so something that I notice about Joe is that he's a liar. He claims that he's just a meatball, a meathead. He's not. He's so well informed about so many things.
I've also seen him get really smart over time.
Yeah.
Like, he's become way more informed now. And he's evolved in front of the world, and I respect that a lot.
A lot. So if he detects a place where he's weak, 2 shows from now, he's no longer weak there. So he somehow, and okay, so that's something that I really love about Joe is that he's a closet intellectual. He's not very academic in the sense that you don't see, okay, well, that guy clearly went to Princeton. He learned a lot on the mat, getting hurt and hurting other people. But on the other hand, he's really unusually well-informed and well-read.
Do you think that's because of the Joe Rogan experience? Or
I think he's a curious human being. I think the Joe Rogan experience is more likely to exist because, something that I've learned from my audience is I have a huge number of contractors in my audience. So people who are like electricians listen to me on the job. And I really didn't appreciate just how much those guys are puzzle solvers because they get called into a job. They have no knowledge. They're dealing with some difficult personality, some pressurized situation. And it's like, okay, you just have to perform, figure it out, and survive. And then every day is different.
Thank you for consuming this clip, दोस्तों. अगर ऐसे ही और clips explore करने हैं तो इस channel के playlists को ज़रूर explore करना.